Oh my gosh, I'm really excited to read the Daniel Scranton video, but Jesus first, all right? Jesus first. We're on lesson 43, right? Yeah, we're on lesson 43. I gotta look at my calendar. 4 plus 3 equals 7. It's gonna be a good one. All right, God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. Okay, we're ready. This is so long too. This might be actually the longest one I've ever read to you. Like it's 2 1/4 pages long. God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. Lesson 43. All right. Light, please. Perception is not an attribute of God. Perception is not an attribute of God. His is the realm of knowledge. Oh, is that bugging you? You don't want to see that there? Fine. Yet he has created the Holy Spirit as the mediator between perception and knowledge. Without this link with God, perception would have replaced knowledge forever in your mind. With this link with God, perception will become so changed and purified that it will lead to knowledge. That is its function as the Holy Spirit sees it. Therefore, that is its function in truth. In God, you cannot see. Perception has no function in God and does not exist. Which, side note, that does actually kind of creep me out for whatever reason. Anyways. You're terrible at this, Sade. All right. Yet, in salvation, which is the undoing of what never was, perception has a mighty purpose. Made by the Son of God for an unholy purpose, it must become the means for the restoration of his holiness to his awareness. Perception has no meaning, yet does the Holy Spirit give it a meaning very close to God's. Healed perception becomes the means by which the Son of God forgives his brother and thus forgives himself. You cannot see apart from God because you cannot be apart from God. Whatever you do in him, because whatever you think with his mind. If vision is real, and it is real to the extent to which it shares the Holy Spirit's purpose, then you cannot see apart from God. All right. 3 5-minute practice periods are required for today. One is early and one is late as possible in the day. The third may be undertaken at the most convenient and suitable time that circumstances and readiness permits. At the beginning of these practice periods, repeat the idea for today to yourself with eyes open. And if we've forgotten what the idea for today is, it is God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. So say that with your eyes open, then glance around you for a short time, applying the idea specifically to what you see. 4 or 5 subjects for this phase of the practice period are sufficient. You might say, for example, God is my source. I cannot see this desk apart from him. God is my source. I cannot see that picture apart from him. Although this part of the exercise period should be relatively short, be sure that you select the subjects for this phase of practice indiscriminately, without self-directed inclusion or exclusion. For the second and longer phase, close your eyes, repeat today's idea again. God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. And then let whatever relevant thoughts occur to you add to the idea in your own personal way. So thoughts such as, I see through the eyes of forgiveness. I see the world as blessed. The world can show me myself. I see my own thoughts, which are like God's. Any thought related more or less directly to today's idea is suitable. The thoughts need not bear any obvious relationship to the idea, but they should not be in opposition to it. If you find your mind wandering, if you begin to be aware of thoughts that are clearly out of accord with today's idea, or if you seem to be unable to think of anything, open your eyes. Repeat the first phase of the exercise period and then attempt the second phase again. Do not allow any protracted period to occur in which you become preoccupied with irrelevant thoughts. Return to the first phase of the exercises as often as necessary to prevent this. In applying today's idea in the shorter practice periods, the form may vary according to the circumstances and situations in which you find yourself during the day. When you are with someone else, for example, try to remember to tell him silently, God is my source. I cannot see you apart from him. This form is equally applicable to strangers as it is to those you think are closer to you. That's funny. Is that funny? That's funny. In fact, try not to make distinctions of this kind at all. All right, wrapping it up. Today's idea should be applied throughout the day to various situations and events that may occur, particularly to those which seem to distress you in any way. So if they distress you, get on it. For this purpose, apply the idea in this form. God is my source. I cannot see this apart from him. If no particular subject presents itself to your awareness at this time, merely repeat the idea in its original form. Try today not to allow any long periods of time to slip by without remembering today's idea, and thus remembering your function. So write it down and like have a little piece of paper with you. Just carry it with you wherever. Just an idea. Lesson 43. God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. Good job, everybody.